your host, Jonathan Young. Windy City Sports Nation.
Dragons! Somebody grab Dragons there. Do you know who this kid is? He's from Chicago. He has a 40-inch vertical. And you are, where's my poster machine? This is what I need my poster machine. Where's it at? Oh my goodness.
Are you ready to dominate?
He hurdles celebrate 20, 10, 5, touchdown! 75-yard punt return. Devin Hester, you are ridiculous.
Williams, pressure again, and 9 sacks. Number 99 gets number 9 for New England. A tough day for Caleb Williams, and in the battle of the number 1 picks, it's Drake May and the Patriots who get the better of Caleb Williams and the Bears. The final in this one, 19-3.
Windy City Sports Nation. Welcome in. I am your host, Jonathan Young. And we have Miss Nene back in the house with us. She gonna stick around. She gonna stick around. We gonna have to definitely bring Miss Nene back every week.
I'm gonna have to come back.
Yeah, she got her own name on the door right now. Quick shout out to NFL on YouTube for that last clip. That was difficult to see last week, Nene. The Bears in a should win game to have that kind of effort and that kind of outcome was definitely deflating here in Chicago for Bears fans.
I didn't expect them to do too well because of the amount of players still out. You know, like the injury list is pretty long.
Yeah, it is. But unfortunately, man, there is injuries on every single NFL team.
All of our good players are out.
Our offensive line, yes. We did have 4 of our offensive linemen starters out, and Tevin Jenkins, the only one that was starting, ended up leaving in the second quarter. So I understand that, and it is a patch line. They gave up 9 sacks. 9 sacks. All right. The whole game was pretty difficult to watch, but I got a question for you fans out there. What was the most difficult part of this game to actually watch? Was it meaning when were you changing the channel? Was it during the offense? Was it during the defense? Did you go pee during the defense? Did you go when was the game just not interesting to you at all? Reach out to me. JJ Young, Windy City Sports Nation at gmail.com. Let me know what part of the game wasn't interesting to you. For me, I hate to say it, man, every single time the offense was on the field, it was like you kind of knew what was going to happen.
Go get your drink. Just go ahead, because this shit is sad. Like, we already knew what to expect.
It was definitely bad. It was disappointing on a lot of different levels. Caleb Williams struggled, and he definitely regressed in this one again. And it's hard to just blame a rookie because he is just that. He is a rookie. So you have to take you have to know there's going to be some growing pains when you go from a quarterback who's been in the NFL at least 2-3 years and knows his way around, like Justin did. Whether he was good or not is irrelevant. He had been doing the job for a while, so he knew the ins and outs of the huddles. He knew the nuances of the game. And when you have a rookie, there's going to be a curve there. So I wouldn't necessarily blame or put all the blame on Caleb. He got to take some blame because he is ultimately the person that throws the ball and decides when or not to throw the ball. but there's someone else who definitely got to take some blame in this, and he did, and he will. He did, and he will. But let's stay on topic. We're gonna talk about this game in particular, and that offensive line being hurt definitely had an effect. But once again, it's like, where is Cole Kmet? Where is DJ Moore? And in the second half, after the break, after halftime, you could see the Bears purposely trying to get the ball to Kmet. They had 2 targets in a row to him, back-to-back plays, when he had 1 or 2 targets the last 2 or 3 weeks. So he was trying to get him involved, but Cole Kmet is a great tight end who needs to get the ball. He is very capable at doing his job with the ball in his hand. So that was a big area missing, during these last few weeks of losses, is where's Cole Kmet? Have you seen Cole Kmet, Nene? I haven't seen him. If y'all see Cole Kmet walking the streets, just get that man a high five. Smack him on his butt and tell him to get back in there in the game. Because he is missing. What's the report they put out now for missing people, Nene? What is it? The Amber Alert.
There you go.
We need a Cole alert.
Say, what, on a milk carton? We're gonna put him on a milk carton?
We need a Cole alert. We need one. I think he had 3-4 targets the whole game, and that's better. It's better, but it has to be more consistent. And I do believe with the changes the Bears have made, that changes will be coming. We will be seeing more Cole Kmet. And please get DJ Moore the ball. He didn't have a catch until they decided to finally throw him the ball, and he jumped up. Nene, I don't know if you saw his first reception, but there was a couple of plays where he felt like he was open and he wasn't targeted, and you could see the frustration there from him. But man, when he caught that his first catch of the game and broke some tackles, he jumped up, had a little towel around his neck, grabbed it, and like he was pumped off of one reception. You would have thought, man, it was 3rd down and 15.
That's what happens when you don't play.
Well, he played, but they not throwing him the ball. Okay.
That you ain't playing. If you don't got the ball, what you doing, running? There's a lot of running going on. You can cardio in at this point. So
You right. A lot of cardio. He said, where's the bike at? Let me stay loose. Yeah, but you're right, man. Roma Dunze leads this team in yards right now, and he is a rookie. When you came into the season, you would have thought Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. I even had thought Cole Kmet would have more yards than Roma Dunze receiving, and instead, it's really Roma Dunze setting the tone for the Bears. Now, it could just be the connection that him and Caleb have. It could just be that connection. They got drafted together. They want to see each other succeed so much that it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. It's a brother connection. Versus with DJ Moore. DJ Moore was vocal. He was adamant about speaking up for the Bears to keep Justin. So I understand the frustration that he has here and there, because he didn't want to be part of a new building. He wanted to have that connection that he had with Justin Fields. And he could be considered a big old baby for how he's acting.
Speaking of people talking up.
Uh-oh.
your boy Jalen Johnson, and what was that? The 670 the score and his brutal honesty about the state of the Bears.
It was, man. If you guys haven't heard that, hey, shout that out again, because I want everyone to go listen. Jalen Johnson keeps it 100.
670 the score interview.
670 the score. Jalen Johnson. Y'all go check that interview out. What did he say, Nene? Go ahead.
He was just giving some brutal honesty about the state of the Bears, about he didn't say who, but he was pretty much, talking smack, giving us some heads up about what was earlier stated about Eberflus losing control of the locker room and whatnot. So I just felt like we already knowing that, and then the things he was talking about, basically about players not, pulling their weight on the field, about not really doing their job. And not just players, because then after that, we seen what happened. The first day he had his interview, and then the next day after that, which was Tuesday, the OC was fired.
Whoa! We getting ahead of ourselves, Dee. Hold on, we gotta leave something for the next topic, for the next block. But yes.
But see, I didn't know beforehand. I heard about. I didn't hear about Jalen Johnson's interview, so I didn't know that this interview had basically kicked off what was to come.
Yeah, he spilled a lot of beans. He brought up the fact that some of the Bears veterans are asking for Caleb Williams to be benched in favor of Tyson Bagent. And if that happens, oh man, that would be the biggest travesty ever in Bears history, to take the number one draft pick, the number one quarterback in the draft, who everybody says is a franchise quarterback, to lose that and have to go to an undrafted free agent and Tyson Bagent would really set the Bears back.
But they're sitting here and saying that, I forgot what word they use, but they basically saying that after being on the Bears, you have some kind of ailment, something wrong with you, because basically we have DJ Moore, another player, not being used how he could be used to help win games. Like, they're pushing them further than they should when they know their stats.
Well, I'll tell you this, heads is going to roll if the season continues the way it is. Heads is going to roll because Chicago is a very passionate city when it comes to their football team. So heads are going to roll, and heads is rolling. Heads have rolled. We'll discuss this and let you know who is running around without their head here in Chicago in a moment. Stay tuned to Windy City Sports Nation.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com, bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and Windy City News Radio.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
Maybe that was money. Tell me that wasn't money.
Yo, check us out. We are the go-to guys. I'm your boy Space.
I'm your boy MC.
Check us out every Thursday
from 4 to 5 p.m.
We spitting all facts, all sports, all day.
Yes, sir. Who else you gonna go to in the clutch?
Lillard, long range three, and it's good!
Keeping you up to date with all the latest sports news.
We are
the go-to guys.
Where else you gonna get all your sports news from?
You know,
SportsTownChicago.com.
St. Patrick's Day, the only day of the year that it's okay to not boo the Boston Celtics. I will show you mercy. SportsTownChicago.com.
Is it a good firing for Caleb or not?
Let's start off by saying no firing is really a good firing, but it's a good thing that they're moving on from the offensive coordinator.
Why?
The reason, because you could see it from day one. It just wasn't, you could just tell. Now, as I said to you guys before, I never felt great about the situation once I got a full look at it. I thought that this team would be good based on the roster and the players that they went out and got, via trade, free agency, draft, all that. So I'm like, okay, cool. They gonna be all right. This quarterback, all he has to do is be Martin Sanchez of the New York Jets. What I mean by that is, don't screw it up. They got a good defense that ended on a great note. They got some skill position players that can help them. They got DeAndre Swift that's solid. Don't screw it up as a young quarterback. That's what I thought. But then when you start looking at Shane Waldron, you start thinking about it, looking at it and saying, well, this ain't going. So it's the right situation for him. Now let's see what happens moving forward.
What do you think, Michael? Was this a good fire?
Well, he said it's never a good fire, and I know he meant to say that it's never a good thing to be happy about a man getting fired. But there are some good fires. There are some good fires. And unfortunately, this may be one of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't want to talk about a man losing his job and happy up.
He said, I think you mean. He said, I think you mean. It's bad to see someone get fired. There are some good fires. Welcome back, Windy City Sports Nation. Like to credit that last clip to Speak on YouTube. That was the Speak TV show, or the Speak show that's on NFL Network. And they was discussing if this was a good thing or a bad thing. That, in case you guys didn't know, Shane Waldron did actually lose. Yeah, he lost his head and they kicked him in the butt out of Chicago.
So he's the chicken running around with no head.
He's the chicken with no head in Chicago. So if you guys was wondering who it was, it's Shane Waldron. Shane, he had a lot of pressure on him.
He was the second OC in 10 months. I think Eberflus the problem at this point, but that's another story. The NFL is weird because for so many years I never heard of a president in the NFL. So Kevin Warren holds that title right now for the Chicago Bears. So he's actually the boss of Ryan Poles and Eberflus and everyone in that building. So for him to be less out of the media and not, I want to see him be the man at the guillotine
the one that pulls the string to bring the axe down. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see him in the front lines. Like, hey, this ain't working. You got to go. You're not doing your job. When you have so many weapons as the Bears have, they were arguably the best situation any number one quarterback has ever walked into. And they started out slow, and then they beat 3 teams. Hey, you guys, really go listen to that Jalen Johnson interview, because he says the exact same thing I'm finna say. So they beat the first 3, or they lose to the first 3 teams. Then they beat the next 3. But those next 3 teams they beat weren't serious competition. They weren't even. These were games where if you're looking at the screen, you want to know who the better team is just from looking. You don't want to see the stats. You don't want to see the final of the game. Just watch a few plays and you should see who the better team is. And that's what you got in those 3 games. The problem is that after those 3 games, you played better competition and better coaching. The competition ain't what beat the Bears last week. It wasn't the competition. It was the coaching. The Bears got out coached, and you doggone.
Like they be coaching themselves or something. I mean, are they ain't listening to the coach? Maybe they don't have respect for him at this point.
It might be that. It might be the respect. I mean, if you're told, okay, if you hustle and you have intensity, you tackle. Like, this is the Hintz principle that he preaches, then you'll win. And that defense is flying around the ball. They listening to you. They practicing the hits, but they not winning.
I don't know. Maybe Eberflus and Caleb Williams go and get their nails done together.
Oh wow!
And they're like besties. Like, cause I feel like Eberflus be like protecting Williams.
He said they go get their nails done together.
But obviously, Eberflus just goes for the clear coat.
I'm dead. Yeah, that is very.
They're probably just real close, and we just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I definitely don't see no quarterback shake up. If they sit Caleb, I might have to change my allegiance. And I wouldn't go jump ship to Green Bay. That's first of all. Second of all, I wouldn't be no bandwagon fan where I just jumped on the best team at that time. I would do some research. I really like Baltimore because Lamar Jackson is a stud.
Wow, so the Bears got
wait.
looking at other teams right now.
Man, hey, this is what it has come down to in Chicago, man. The Bears have me thinking of, man, shit. Lamar Jackson, Derek King Henry, and Lamar, they look good.
Your boy Brisker on the IR.
Yeah. All these concussions that poor dude is coming up with, man. He is a thumper. And the problem with being a thumper is that you're going to get dumped. And your body's going to feel all those thumpings that you doing. So anytime you go in there hot and you hit somebody really hard, it don't just affect their body.
Them former Bears players, former Bear player, the big homie CC, who's also making his rounds in the media for other reasons. He also said a lot of his ex-NFL homies are just a little slow, so them concussions.
Yeah.
Take a toll on you.
Yeah, it definitely do. And Brisker's still young, so I understand why they're waiting to bring him back. They're going to bring him back slowly. Tua Tagovailoa in Miami is going through concussions every other week. It's nice to see ever since he's come back, he's been looking good. Gives me, hope that when Jaquan comes back, he'll have that same mentality and it won't change him as a player. That's my hope. That's my hope.
I feel you though, why you're already looking at other teams, because if they want Baggett to start off this weekend, we gonna lose anyway. So just, you know what?
Hey, maybe not. Look. Okay, so The new offensive coordinator, Mr. Thomas Brown. He was the offensive coordinator
I forgot. Okay,
last year for Carolina. And Carolina last year had a terrible record. And I mean, I hate to say it, but it was partially because of the Bears just taking all their draft picks and they star wide receiver. But that's neither here nor there. Carolina had a bad team last year. And one of the Carolina's biggest wins last year was against Green Bay Packers. I mean, like, Mr. Brown had their quarterback, and they benched him. They benched him and brought him back and benched him again. But he had that dude throw for over 300 yards last year, which was arguably his best game in the pros. I mean, he was a rookie. So to see him come out there and throw for 300 yards against Green Bay in a big game late in the season, that's growth. What if he could do the same with Caleb this week? You don't think so? I saw.
Don't cross our fingers.
Oh boy, if y'all could have seen
Everybody
her face
get your
through
lucky
the
hats
mic.
out. Get your lucky, get your lucky stuff. We're gonna have our fingers crossed. Gotta do all that. Get your lucky rabbit foot. Anything you got, you need. We need it all. Tell your grandma to pray. We need the prayer warriors at church this Sunday.
Man, we need Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury is Caleb's old head coach in college, and Cliff Kingsbury is an offensive coordinator right now in the league. But if I was the Chicago Bears, what I would do is after this season is over, I would entice Mr. Cliff Kingsbury to come coach Caleb. And if he does a great job with him, I would fire Eberflus and make him the head coach. It's like all you got to do is step through the door.
They're watching Eberflus like really hard right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If he even farts the wrong way,
if you hire Kingsbury and you fire Eberflus, even if it's mid-season, Kingsbury, I believe, will be a good head coach in that step. Like, he's gone, I'm here. I got you, Caleb. They had that connection. I think that's
what the team needs, because at the end of the day, it's about the team, not about, the coach or whatever. Like, we need to get a better handle on what's going on here, because it's all over the place. It's embarrassing. I would
love to see Caleb in the hall, but it's not looking like.
I would love to see the Wives of the Bears reality show right now, or something like a reality show into the Bears, because it's getting
and how they dealing with it at home. Oh, that would be good. That'd be a good show. But it's not looking like we got any Hall of Famers here in Chicago right now on the Bears. But there is a player in Chicago who played 16 years, and after his 16th year, after his last game, 16 years later, he is going finally to the Hall of Fame.
Back to your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com. Scoreboard update.
At 4:20, I'm Jonathan Young with your SportsTownChicago.com update, powered by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beyondthere.com. The Bears host Green Bay this Sunday at 12. Tune in on Fox. Jaquan Brisker is out. Montez Sweat, Darnell Wright, and Darrell Taylor are all questionable for the Bears. Josh Jacobs, Evan Williams, Kyler Clark, and Jair Alexander will be questionable for Green Bay. Bears' new offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown, looked to beat Green Bay again, as the last offensive coordinator job with Carolina had him win big late last season against Green Bay. Zach LaVine scored 31 points, and Kobe White hit the winning free throw with 3 seconds left as the Bulls survived the Knicks' comeback 124-123 on Wednesday night. The 5-7 Bulls led by as many as 22 in the third, but the 5-6 Knicks rallied and took the lead 123-121 on a Jalen Brunson bucket with 4 seconds remaining. On the ensuing possession, White was fouled by Josh Hart on a 3 and made all 3 free throws. Brunson's potential winner at the last second rimmed out at the buzzer. Karl Anthony Towns scored a season-high 46 for the Knicks with 10 boards. Brunson finished with 24 after shooting 41% in the first half. The Knicks connected on a 60% clip in the second to erase that large digit deficit. The Bulls travel to Cleveland to face the Cavs on Friday, 6:30. Tune in on Chicago Sports Network. This has been your SportsTownChicago.com update brought to you by Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com.
This is your home for sports. Red left. SportsTownChicago.com.
Take that exit and get to the Southern Cafe, home of the Nasty Biscuit on Roselle Road in Roselle. Get over there and try the chicken fried chicken biscuit made with the Southern Cafe's house-made drop biscuit with buttermilk chicken fried chicken smothered in country gravy, topped with shredded cheddar and crumbled hickory smoked bacon. I always say that when you go to the Southern Cafe, you come out with 2 meals with the heaping amounts of food they serve you in every meal. I love to go to a place with outdoor seating. The Southern Cafe has a great outdoor seating area to help social distance, and I get to enjoy my breakfast outdoors. Open 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. to give you plenty of time to grab an amazing breakfast or lunch. Now get your butt over to the Southern Cafe on Roselle Road.
Hello?
It's speed walking day.
Dorothy? You're breaking up.
Did I mention we'd be slowing down when we pass the court where those fine brothers play ball?
I heard that.
Reduce your risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Get active, eat right, and maybe even run into Mr. Right. Isn't sisterhood beautiful? For more information, go to everydaychoices.org. Brought to you by the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, the Ad Council, and this station.
Alert! Alert! Be gone, maxed out credit cards, overdue loans, suffocating interest rates, and relentless collection agencies. If your credit rating is making you and others around you cringe, there's only one thing to do, and that's to turn to the professionals at Creative Credit Solutions. Even if your credit is less than perfect, we'll help you get back on track. You can do it, and we can help. Call today or visit creativecreditsolutions.net for your free credit check report.
Blow the whistle on SportsTownChicago.com. Mondays and Fridays from 2 to 3 p.m. as we talk NFL.
The game plan was really sound.
It's a quarterback league. It has been. It still is.
Franchise-defining quarterbacks.
College football.
Will Jim Harbaugh make it through the season as Michigan's head coach?
Some more Big Ten talk.
And here's some things you wouldn't expect.
I would have never expected that.
Get all of that and more on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
That's my hero. Captain America, Chris Chelios. Never saw a guy love the game or more dedicated to the game ever like you, Chelly. Wow.
That's right, y'all. That was Jeremy Roenick. Like to give a shout out to NHL on YouTube for that last clip. Jeremy Roenick is in the Hall of Fame where he belongs. If you guys was under a rock during the early 90s, or maybe not born yet, you didn't really see Jeremy Roenick. But if you weren't under a rock, or if you were born, you know how good that early 90s Blackhawks team was. And that Blackhawks team was centered around Mr. Jeremy Roenick. And his backup man, his wingman was Chris Chelios. It was like they were Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen on ice.
On the ice.
Yes, because they had each other's back. That was his Hall of Fame inductee speech. And the very first thing Jeremy Roenick does is he thanks who? Chris Chelios.
That's a real one.
Gives
That's a
him his
real
flowers.
team player. That's how you do that.
Yeah, they definitely had each other's back.
Because there's no I in team.
No,
you know?
there isn't. And those two's like brothers. It was great to see those two team up on so many goals.
And it took them 16 years to get
him in the hall.
Okay.
But he's there. He's there now. You can't kick him out. Can't take it from him. He earned it and he deserves it.
And they even lost that game, but they played really good.
So Jeremy Roenick played 18 seasons. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 8 seasons here in Chicago. And as a rookie, he had 66 points. That went up to 94 his next year. And then his very next 3 years, he had 103, 107, and 107. If you score or if you have over 100 points in an NHL season, you are considered elite. So not only did he do it once, he did it twice, he did it 3 times, almost 4 years in a row. Because his first year where he was solid, he had 94. Almost 4 years in a row. So I got a question. Who is the best Blackhawks player of all time? Is it Jeremy? Is it Eddie Belfour? There's so many out there. Hall. There's a lot of them out there. So reach out to me. Let me know. Could it be Connor? Could it be Connor? I think my favorite is Mr. Belfour. Eddie Belfour is, my opinion, the best Blackhawks player because he played one of the toughest positions in goalie. You don't get a lot of shine. But every year.
But they say the best Blackhawk of all time was before even our time.
Yeah.
It was Bobby Hull.
Yeah, Mr. Hull. But I wasn't around during that time. I don't know him. So that might be the GOAT for some other people. GOAT is interchangeable. You know what I mean? Like it's like the basketball debate. A lot of younger generation says that LeBron James is the GOAT. Okay, you know what? I heard this little girl, and I'm going to actually take her advice. My GOAT of the Blackhawks is Eddie Belfour.
Okay.
But you are correct. The GOAT of the Chicago Blackhawks
they call him
is
the Golden Jet. Though.
Yes, it was Hall. It was Hall. It was. I didn't get a chance to see it. But yes, the GOAT is Hall. My GOAT is Eddie Belfour. So thank you for correcting me.
Patrick Kane is decent though.
Yeah, Patrick Kane.
Kane was my guy.
Kane and Taves. Kane and Taves had that same vibe as Chelios and Jeremy Roenick. I would like to see who is going to be Connor's Batman, because the Blackhawks have a stud. They have a stud. And not only do they have a stud, but he's not only scoring, he is passing. He has more assists right now than goals. And you NHL players, y'all better be scared. Y'all better be scared, because if LeBron James came into the league as a passer and not a scorer and developed that later, oh man. So if he's trying to improve on passing, you're not going to be able to just double him. You're not just going to be able to just sprint out on him every time he got the puck, because if you do.
And we have to talk about Patrick Sharp, because Sharp was a very amazing Blackhawk player too. If we're gonna be talking about Blackhawks.
He was up there too.
What
he
you
was
mean?
Up there too.
He was. He was one of the best trades in the Blackhawks.
Okay. Tell me something about Sharp. What makes Sharp? Because I know Hall, and he is a stud. But what made Sharpie? What made Sharpie the man? What makes you feel so confident? Is that your goal?
No, I just think that we're talking about
you want to bring
top
him
players up in
Okay,
Blackhawks. Like
okay,
we forgot
yeah.
one type.
I definitely.
I don't say he was my goat.
I definitely would put Sharpie up there.
Yeah, nah. If anything, I will have to go with who I said, Patrick Kane. Kane's my
Kaner.
goat.
Yeah, they got the cup. But I will say during the 92 season when the Blackhawks were going for the Stanley Cup, they did have the unlucky fortune of facing the Penguins. And the Penguins that year, they had Paul Coffey, who is one of the best defensive players ever. They had Jaromir Jagr, who is one of the best offensive players ever, and Mario Lemieux, who is one of the best players ever. Not might be, he is. Super Mario was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So,
and Patrick Kane, like you said, he actually was the reason we won the 2010 Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
He got that final score against Philadelphia in overtime. So.
Yeah, I can see why Pat would be considered as a GOAT. I can see that. You know, I can see that. I wonder if he'll come back. Could Kane be Connor Bedard's Batman?
Dang.
Because Kane's up there in age, but he's still got a few years left. And if he's willing to come back on the right contract, would you bring him back, Nene?
Of course.
You bringing him back?
That's a history right there. That's like, I would enjoy that. I would enjoy to see that happen right now.
Blackhawks front office, y'all better be listening out here to Nene. She said, bring
Patrick Kane back
to the Shy. She said she want her boy back to team up with Connor Bedard and take this Blackhawks team to the next level.
And the Blackhawks play tonight against the Seattle Kraken. Just so y'all know.
Check them out.
Tune in.
All right. So being underdogs sometimes is better because there's less pressure. What NBA team took a huge step not feeling or not having to feel any pressure? Who?
Is an owl in here?
Windy City Sports Nation.
This is your home for sports.
Longtime fan, sports is like life.
SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Hey, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I going to be when I grow up? A Major League First baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champion.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Go to Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Hi,
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
The Chicago Dogs are back on SportsTownChicago.com. Tune in to the season opener against the Sioux City Explorers, Friday, May 28th at Impact Field in Rosemont. First pitch at 7:05 p.m. Hear all the action right here on SportsTownChicago.com.
I mean, a bit of both, I think. Like, we kind of spoke about it at the time that a lot of we got into the paint and they were just collapsing. I could get off on one foot and we're trying to make plays in the air. So that's a tough team to go against. They got active guys at home. So I thought a lot of stuff, we shot ourselves, which is a good thing. I mean, that's, when you come in and you feel like, you lose the game, you don't get beat. It sounds weird, but it's kind of how it felt tonight. A lot to work on. So turnovers obviously a big problem.
All righty, everyone. Welcome back. So I'd like to credit that last clip. Thank you very much to Chicago Bulls on YouTube.com. That was the Bulls speaking of their recent troubles with turnovers. And last night, the turnovers did plague them again. But even with those turnovers, the Bulls won. Mm-hmm. It's a good day.
They got my bullshit on today,
Not only did they beat New York, in New York, they beat Atlanta last week too.
They sure did. And they barely beat them last night. That's what made it so
that was
so crazy. Even when Kobe got that foul, I was like, was that planned? And you was like, yeah, they planned it. They fouled. You were mad at me.
Kobe getting fouled at the end.
That was like,
I couldn't believe it, man. Like, what was Josh Hart thinking? Like, Josh Hart is a very aggressive defender, and he goes hard on the defense. And the only thing I could think of, instead of coming underneath that pick, he went over the top, and he had already committed. And once he committed, he didn't want to give up the clean look, and he would rather have bumped Kobe or sent Kobe to the line to win it instead of having Kobe, because that pick or screen from Vucevic was deadly. And with him going over the top of the screen instead of going underneath the screen, there was no one in front of Kobe. So if Kobe shot that shot, it would have been basically a wide open 3-pointer. So instead of him giving him that, Josh Hart attempted to be aggressive with the block and put Kobe on the line.
And that's why it worked the way it did. That's like karma. Yeah. And we seen that happen with the Bucks too. They had some karma with the Pistons because that referee was calling some bad calls. But yeah, I was really proud of the Bulls last night. And I feel sorry for anybody. I'm not trying to throw shade at you, but anybody who had Giddy under.
Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
He didn't even get his little 10 points. So. Giddy, that's why I don't like him. That's why I be staying on his butt.
I had a $1,400 parlay yesterday. And if Giddy had hit 10 points.
And he's good for it. That's why it was like, wow. That's like when you put your money on Kobe. And this time people put their money, they're like, no, we ain't going to do it on Kobe. But he came through for it.
Right. Kobe was the beast. Kobe White was a beast. Like, Kobe White did his thing.
He sure did.
And it's nice because
he always do that.
Yeah, he had 24 points. 20 points. Yeah, Kobe had 20. But with him, Vooch, and Levine was actually out there passing. Levine had some dimes.
You see?
He had some dimes out there. And if Levine can prove to teams that he is a passer and a score maker, Man, maybe we can trade him. Trade him.
Why would you want to trade him? I mean, look, obviously we lost all those games until he came back from injury.
Okay. Zach LaVine is a great 3 or 4 option on a championship team. Meaning, if you have 2 players that are better options than Zach LaVine with the ball in their hand to win a game, if he's the 3rd or 4th option, you have a championship team. If he's your first option, you're not a championship team, and you will never be a championship team because he's not the best player on a championship team. So if he's not the best player on a championship team, why are you going to keep him? You're paying him top $1
to win some games, and he'd be helping out.
Okay, so perfect situation right now is the Bulls. If their draft pick is out of the top 10, it is no longer theirs, and it goes to the San Antonio Spurs. So if the Bulls are not good, and if they suck, they get to keep their pick. If they're good, then they don't. They don't get to keep their pick. Their pick goes to San Antonio. So I
forgot about that. So you know what?
And plus, okay, it's not only even just about the rebuild. When you rebuild, it's best. Okay, the Knicks is a perfect example. The Knicks and the Bulls about 2-3 years ago were parallel. They didn't have at the time, the best player on the Knicks was Julius Randle, who was nowhere near as good as Zach LaVine. They were parallel. But the New York Knicks started trading all their players for first-round picks and draft and second-round picks. They didn't care if you had a chance to finish in the top or in the middle or late. They wanted your first-round draft pick. And now look at that team. I was sitting there the other day looking at that team. I said, and somebody need to check their books. They have so many weapons. It's so many stars on New York.
Shout out to G Swervo. He said, "Let's go. Love the show and love the collab."
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. So if you trade away Zach, it's nice because you get a piece in return. Right now, you couldn't give Zach away. For nothing. But if he proves that he can be first, you can shoot his butt off in this Knicks game, was super aggressive. He can't play like that every game because Zach LaVine is here. When you
my bad. G Swervo commented, he says he's not wrong. We play a lot for him and he's not stepping out.
Yeah, a lot. That dude is getting top dollar. He getting top dollar. And it's good when he's healthy. It's good when he out there, but he got to prove he can stay healthy too. Teams want to see him on the court and performing. Same thing with Lonzo. Man, we might be able to get we might get a first round pick for Lonzo.
If he could get himself together, stop getting hurt. He need to take some vitamins. You know what? We'll take you to the GNC and get you some.
You ever seen the movie Unbreakable?
Maybe.
With Kevin Willis?
I'm not sure.
Well, in that movie, they had this guy and they call him Mr. Glass.
There you go. That's Lonzo.
And anytime you could touch him.
Could blow on him.
Yes, and he would fall. And if he fell, he breaking his knee, his collarbone, his wrist, his fingers. Like, they called him Mr. Glass.
I'm tired, all right? Because he got back, then now he's out with his little wrist. Or is it a wrist? Or
yeah, it's his wrist.
Boy, if you don't put something around that, tape it up, get out there.
But in his defense, he hurt his wrist diving for a loose ball.
Diving for all right.
It's not like he was out and playing a pickup game and got hurt. He was in the game playing with effort and heart and got hurt. I'll accept that injury. I'll accept it. But
what if we get your boy Gianni over here?
If Giannis come,
Gianni,
I'm trading the whole team for Giannis. You can have anybody you want.
Game last night, he was going off on the Pistons.
Giannis is a beast.
They snapped. They went into overtime. We want to see some overtime. Well, when I go to a Bulls game, y'all need to go into overtime.
Us working with the Windy City Bulls, I told you we gonna get us some free tickets. Hey, you guys, come out. You know, if you guys love sports, you know, you guys love, you know, broadcasting or even, you know, being a blogger, come check us out at Illinois Media School, because they do it up here. You know, in good situation for, and unfortunately we have to get up out of here.
Hopefully for next week we could talk about the Tyson fight.
Oh, I can't wait. I thought it was gonna be an exhibition. No, it's a real fight. It's going down. It's going down.
Yes.
Mike ain't gonna let that dude mess up his record.
He has too much stamina anyways for Jake Paul.
He not gonna.
He ain't your average old man.
Did you see that big dude hitting the bag? Man, he gonna. I cannot wait to see that fight, man.
It's gonna be a knockout.
Jake Paul was out there trying to bet the whole stand of boxers who said that Mike Tyson was gonna beat him. Put your money where your mouth is. You want to bet?
I think it's those people like that get messed up, because Tyson is still humble.
Yeah. He ain't got to brag, but
he ain't got to brag.
Tyson,
he got the bragging right.
Tyson's record and his in-ring performances speak for itself. Yeah, so we will definitely have to do a segment next week. Yes,
and then the Bears with the Packers. You know, the rivals going at it. So it'll be very interesting.
This is going to be a great weekend. You guys have a great weekend. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff to talk about next week. You guys take care, Dini. I will see you next week. Have a great day.
Have a great weekend, y'all.
Windy City Sports Nation. You guys have a good weekend.
This is your home for sports.
This is the best fans in the world.
No better team.